halfway there. Do I have anybody with me yet? Hey, Patsy, Sheila, and two other people. I don't know who the other two people are. It's not telling me. Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. How's everybody doing today? It's Friday. Thank goodness, right? So, what we're going to do, hey, Connie and David and Jimmy and Dean. Hey, Rita. Okay, y'all, so today's Friday, so I like to have something easy on Friday. So today is going to be pizza night. Hey, Addison. Hey, baby. So I'm going to get my pizza crust started. Now, a friend of mine sent me this recipe, Chris Spencer. He sent this recipe to me back in the summer, and I've been using it, and it is great. So right now I got 3/4 cups of water, and it said 110 degrees, so I'm saying lukewarm water. This is just tap water. I let it get really hot. And a pouch of dry yeast. And that's just active dry yeast. Hey, Julia. Hey, Martha. All right, so I'm going to stir that up. And I have 1/4 teaspoon of granulated sugar. And I'm going to put that in my water. You're my best, Addison. Thank you, baby girl. I love you. All right, so I'm going to just stir this up good. And then I'm going to set it to the side and let it rest for 8 minutes. So let me set a timer. Okay, so I'm going to let that yeast rest for 8 minutes. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to work on something else. I've been doing some little appetizers, finger foods, things like that that you could carry to your Christmas dinners and get-togethers and things like that. So tonight, I'm going to throw back. And I'm going to go throwback to the 80s, y'all. I remember eating these in the 80s, and I used to make them a whole lot. I've already started working on them, but you take a pack of hot dogs. Now, since it's just starting now, I'm only going to do a half a pack. But you take a pound of hot dogs and a pound of bacon. And I've cut these hot dogs into 3 sections, okay? And you cut your bacon into halves. Now, this is really thick bacon. Usually the pound bacon that you buy is a little thinner, you know, but this is really thick bacon. And you wrap this hot dog in this bacon, and you stick a toothpick through it. I already started working on them. Just put them in your little dish. Now, these are just regular hot dogs. These are regular Oscar Mayer hot dogs. You can actually use the little cocktail smokies if you want to. But this is throwback to the 80s. This is what we did in the 80s. Just little hot dogs. So I'm wrapping these little hot dogs that I've cut up. I thirded my hot dogs. Cut them in 3 sections. Half a slice of bacon. And I'm just wrapping them up. And just about done. I've got one more here. Okay. So there they all are wrapped up. I'm gonna throw that bacon in there. It'll just be good. Okay. Put it right there. Now, I have my oven heated to 350. I've got some mustard. Should already did this. Got some mustard here. And my recipe calls for, it says, where I wrote it down, it said 1 pound of hot dogs, 1 pound of bacon, 1 jar of mustard, and 1 jar of grape jelly. Well, I'm kind of halving it, so I'm going to do, I think, a cup of mustard. Just remember, equal parts of mustard and grape jelly. So I'm going to start with a cup of mustard. And a cup of this grape jelly. How much is in here? About half a jar. Yep, this is throwback to the 80s, y'all. All right. So I got a cup of mustard and a cup of grape jelly. And I'm going to stir this up together. I'll mix it up. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and throw the rest of this grape jelly in here, because I think it'll be fun. Didn't look like there was hardly as much. Okay, good. So we've got our oven heated to 350. Let me look at my old recipe. I'm telling you, I've had this is my old recipe book where it looks awful. See if I can read it. Okay, I was just making sure. I couldn't remember if it said to cover it, and it doesn't, so I'm not going to. You could also put these in your crock pot if you wanted to and let them cook for all day and they'd be good. But yeah, that's plenty. Just cover that over these hot dogs and bacon. Just cover it up good. Make sure it's spread around. And there we go, that's it. I'm gonna stick them in the oven on 350 and let them cook until they're done. I mean, I don't know how long it's gonna take. You just keep your eye on them and watch them. This will melt, and when you see that bacon's done, they're done. I'll try to keep an eye on how long they take, and I'll try to post the recipe and let you know. All right, let's see. We got Roger and Rosa and Amy and Teresa, Peggy and Debbie. Debbie, thank you for posting that picture of your fruit cake. It looks so pretty. Oh, I do need this. All right, so while we're waiting, we've got a couple minutes left for our yeast and water to sit together. We're making pizzas, y'all. Homemade pizza. I'm going to cut some ham up for Donnie's side of the pizza. So I'm going to do a half and half because he likes ham and pineapple. I like pepperoni and mushrooms. So that's what we're having. Don't y'all hate these packs? Does anybody else have a hard time with them like I do? I'm going to cut down under it again. Careful not to cut the zipper. But if I cut the zipper, I'll just put it in a Ziploc bag. I may have to cut the zipper. All right. My 2 minutes are going to be gone by the time I get the ham open. It looked really good, Debbie. I'm glad you liked it. Anybody didn't see my fruitcake recipe and you like fruitcake, go check that out. Okay, this is not working. We're going to go one more time across through here. There we go, y'all. I may not ever be able to, oh no, I've messed it up. It's okay. I'll put it in a Ziploc bag. Hey, Glenda. Okay. So I'm going to cut up some ham for Donnie's part. I don't know how much we need. That's probably going to be enough. All right, there goes my timer. Okay, now, let me turn that off. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just put this in this little bowl here. And I'm going to move this board out of my way. And this. Okay. Now, let's see if we can get this pizza crust. All right, let me break this off where I used my last time. There we go. Okay, so now we let this was 3/4 of a cup of lukewarm water. Smells like homemade bread. A package of yeast and a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, okay? So now I have got 1 3/4 cup of flour, all-purpose flour. And then I have 1/2 of a teaspoon of salt. Should have got a bigger spoon. Let me just mix that together. I'm going to make a little hole, and now I'm going to pour in my yeast and water and sugar mixture. Okay? And I'm going to just mix it up good with this spoon. Now this is a thin crust, and it is a really good crust. I have enjoyed it. I didn't come up with it, but somebody sent it to me, and I've been using it, and it's real easy and just real good. Hey Tina and Tina, Tina Holt and Tina Lovell. Hey Glenda. All right, so I'm just gonna mix it together good. Okay, that's mixed pretty good. Now, it's a little sticky. I'm gonna take a little flour and put on my board. So if you're just joining me, it's Friday night pizza night and throwback to the 80s on my little appetizers for the season. I'm doing bacon wrapped piggies in a blanket. And they're already in the oven. Very simple if you've missed it. You take hot dogs, a pack of hot dogs, cut them into 3 pieces, 3 sections. A pound of bacon, cut it in half, and wrap those hot dogs with that bacon, stick it with a toothpick to hold it, and then mix up probably about 2 cups of mustard and 2 cups of grape jelly. I did a half, so I did about a cup and a cup. All right, so now this is my pizza crust, and I'm just gonna kind of knead it around a little bit. This flour, it's kind of stretchy. Get it cleaned off my hands here. And you can make little individual, you can make this into one big like 12-inch crust, or you can tear it into sections and make little miniature personal pizzas. Like I said, this is a thin. This is a thin crust. Hey Linda and Becky. Alright, so I'm gonna stretch it. Cut it out and just kind of keep stretching it. the recipe says that you can also freeze it, put it in a ball and freeze it if you don't want to use it all today. Got a little thin right there, so I'm just going to try to push it back together. And I have this little rolling pin I can use too. Got a hole in it. Peach. There we go. Repair that hole. There's one right there too. I'm going to repair it. Alright. Now I've got my oven preheated to 500. That's what it says to bake it on. 500 for 8 to 10 minutes, or until it's, you know, reached your liking. And I have I found a good sauce recipe. Hey, Casey. Oh, hey, kids. How are you kiddos? Let's see, Lily and Briar and Hannah Rose. So I'm just going to kind of get this, and hopefully I can get it onto my pan without too much trouble. It also says to go ahead and lightly grease your pan. I do have a stone that I cook it on sometimes, but I also have this pan with holes in it, and it makes a good crispy crust too. So I like to use it, and I'm just going to take a little olive oil, and I'm going to kind of drizzle it around the edge of it. Very little, because my thing's about empty. And then I'm just going to kind of rub it with my hand. I tell you, very little. You could spray it too with some cooking spray if you wanted to. I gotta refill my decanter. You can get a lot on there, but it said lightly greased. Alright, so now I'm gonna try to get this on the pan without creating too big a mess. Let's see if I can. I did make a mess, but I got it on there. I'm just gonna shape it up, fix my little things. I made mine a little bigger than 12 inches because I like it really thin. I like a thin crust. I love Pizza Hut thin and crispy pizzas. I don't know if y'all like those. I sure miss our Pizza Hut. But Dad's has good pizza, and Emerald's has good pizza. And I noticed that Hasty Mart looks like they've got good pizza. I've not tried it yet. All right, there we go. We got a good mess going on. But there we go. Yeah, I'm not tossing it in the air, Roger. I'm just not that good. All right, so tonight I wanted to be fast, so I just bought some sauce. If I can open it. Hey, Melba, Karen. Hey, Jeremiah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. Now, if it were just me eating this, I would put this entire jar of sauce on this pizza because I love sauce. But Donnie fusses if it's got too much sauce on it. So I probably won't put it on the whole pizza. I mean, I'll put it on the whole pizza, but not the whole jar. But I will save some of it, and I'll dip mine into it. So this, every time I make homemade pizza, I go back to those days of working at the Pizza Hut. And you want to make sure your sauce goes all the way out to the edge. As far as you can get it. That's pretty good. And then when I worked at Pizza Hut, we always took a light layer of cheese. I believe they changed the way they made them over time. But we would take a light layer of cheese and put around. And you start on the outer edge and work your way in. Not a lot, just a little. And then you start with your toppings, such as your pepperoni. Now, I'm going to do a half and half pizza because, like I said, Donnie, I like a lot of pepperoni. He'll eat pepperoni, but he prefers ham. I like a lot of pepperoni. Okay. And the other side, I'm going to put ham. Now, I might have to cut some more if I don't have enough. That's two together, but. Okay. I don't think I got plenty. I think I gauged that about right. Looks about right. And let me back that up just a hair. Hey, Robbie or Paula, whichever one's watching. All right, so on Donnie's side, I'm gonna put some pineapple tidbits because he likes that. Not me. I want it on my side. And then I'm going to come in with some mushrooms. Now you pick your toppings. You know, this would be really fun to make this crust up and let each person in the family make their own personal size and put whatever they want on it. I'm going to put mushrooms on his side too because he likes mushrooms too. So we're just putting them all around. Okay. There we go. Now we're ready to finish it off with some cheese. And we always put the outer ring first and then work it to the inside. Because when it cooks, it kind of all goes inside. That's how we did it when I worked at Pizza Hut. And there we go. And that's my pizza. And I'm going to stick it in the oven on 500 for probably about 10 minutes, but we'll see. It said 8 to 10 minutes on the recipe. Let me check on. Ooh, yeah, these are looking good. Let me wash my hands. All right. So that's it, y'all. Y'all had homemade pizza as a family for Thanksgiving this year? Well, that was a good idea. You know, with everything being different this year, make some new traditions. That sounds like a good tradition to me. I always, at Christmas and Thanksgiving, you know, you always have all this food. All this ham and turkey and dressing and all that kind of stuff. And then after a couple of days of eating that, I'm ready for some pizza. That's my go-to after we get done with Thanksgiving. I'm like, I want pizza. So we're going to have pizza tonight. I have got a mess and a half here. Let me just kind of wipe it up a little bit because I can't stand this. All right. Now, another thing you can do, and I'm not going to make them tonight, but I'm going to tell you, you can take these little smokies, put them in a crock pot with a bottle of barbecue sauce and some brown sugar, or just the barbecue sauce, and let them cook. Or do the mustard and grape jelly like I did on the hot dogs. That's it, y'all. That's what I've got tonight. Let me check on the hot dog Piggies in a blanket and see how they're doing. I'll show you how they're kind of doing. They've been in there now about 15 minutes. So the stuff is good and it's starting to melt, but it's just not ready yet. So probably another 15-20 minutes before those are going to be done. So I've got them on 350. I'm just going to let those cook. Hey Sharon. Okay, that's it guys. That's what we're having. I'll post a picture of everything when it gets done, and y'all give it a try. I'll post the recipes on my page, and y'all share and like. If you enjoy it, like and share my page and my recipes. Vicki, and you had the traditional Thanksgiving, but with your daughter and son-in-law, you did the pizza. That was probably good. They probably like that better. Most young people would rather have pizza than turkey and dressing, but I like it all. So, all right, I appreciate y'all watching. I didn't tell y'all about my apron I have on tonight. It's another one of my great-grandmother's aprons. So, I like to pull it out at Christmas time and use it. So, good to see everybody, and be watching next week. I'm going to do cheese balls. I have a cheese ball that I make every year. Actually, it makes a big batch, and I separate it up into smaller individual ones and hand those out to my family. So be watching, and you'll see how to do that cheese ball. It's a recipe that was passed on to me from a really special lady, and Miss Jean Nutt. When I was a little girl, she made that cheese ball, and I ate it, and I loved it. So after I got married, she actually gave me the recipe, and I started making it, and I've made it every year for at least 20 years. I know, probably 25 years that I've made that cheese. Well, I know it's more than 20 because I'm getting old. It's probably more than 25. But y'all keep watching. We're going to do those cheese balls next week, probably Tuesday night. So keep watching, and I'll post a picture of my pizza when it comes out, and I'll post a picture of my Piggies in a blanket. Debbie, I think I saw where you had shared my recipe for my fruitcake. So share those. Just share the recipes. I think that'll be good. But all right, there's Chris and Vicki Mara, and there's Vicki Garrettson and Susan Corbel. So thank y'all for watching me. It's good to see everybody. Y'all have a good night. Merry Christmas.